Hello, everybody. It is a stay-at-home dad gamer again, back with another Transformers review. This time it is Age of Extinction Scorn. This is the general release of it, not the, because the movie-colored one comes in that San Diego Comic-Con pack, but that's okay. This is the nice shiny red one that you don't see in the movie, and this is his dinosaur form, Spinosaurus, which looks pretty cool. You know, the head moves side to side, although it has this neck thing here, which we can get to, so it's harder for him to look up without looking like he's got some kind of problem. But other than that, his gotta put it down to move his head though. But his jaw moves, and you can make him look like he's really needs to go to a doctor. That also turns. So you can recreate scenes from Jurassic Park. Just replace the raptor with him. His little arms move. Hee hee. And these legs do move, although you kind of break some of the illusion here of the of how that fits together. But he can do it. And his tail, it's like the soft plastic. You can't really pose it or anything, but you know you can move it. One thing though is this right here, where it plugs into basically his crotch piece. I don't like that because it's the soft plastic, or like the soft rubbery plastic, whatever you want to call it. But there's this little thing, but you know, that's soft too, so it has to plug into this hole, yeah, but it doesn't hold super well. At least on mine, there might be a way to fix it. But that's really my only problem with when you're transforming them to dinosaur mode. That and the spear arm here, as you'll see, but there's little spikes, and the plastic has to go over that. Once I realized that, I was able to squeeze it, you know, and maneuver the plastic around it. But first couple times I really had to finagle it and worm it over or something. It's a little bit better now, but that part not so much. But like I said in the previous one, not really going to go step by step with transforming him unless in the future that is something people want to see. Rip that down. But it's not a super complicated transformation. I mean, you can see most of it right away. But I think this part's cool where you split those and then rotate them, and then his head kind of pops up. But I think it's neat how they have the spines become something really cool looking in the robot mode, like those shoulder pads. Those look awesome. But anyway, and I think officially you're supposed to put the back, just kind of leave it down like that. Which, you know, he looks fine. Maybe a bit lanky in the midsection. But I saw another reviewer do this. I think it was Pia, but it is a really cool idea. Where you just rotate them. Maybe it was Vangelis. I don't know. I apologize for getting it wrong. But you kind of fold it up there and kind of beefs that out. You know, kind of gives them maybe like an extension of the pauldrons or like a waistcoat or something. But it's kind of neat. And this arm is a giant lance. And this one, you can, you know, rotate it out like this. I think officially in the instructions they have you do that, which looks okay. The problem is, you know, it's supposed to be like a shield or something with a giant gaping hole, but that's okay. But it's kind of lopsided, and, you know, I kind of like the idea of it, but that's too big. So I just kind of leave it as the dino head. And, you know, you can either fold this up to kind of bulk out that, or sometimes I like to leave it up like that so it looks kind of like a little spike. You know, looks kind of menacing, looks pretty cool in my opinion. And I'm okay with the dino head just sitting there. Also, if you really want to, I like to actually give him the dino head as a hand, so he's like Beast Wars Megatron. Pretend, you know, it's like shoots out fire, even though he doesn't shoot out fire, I don't believe, but you know, you can pretend, whatever. But you can actually, you know, kind of use it as a weird hand in that way too, just like, oh, I don't know. Which I think is kind of neat that you can do that. It's not really intended as far as I know, but I like it. So that is that. We'll put it out for the purposes of the next point though. But you know, look-wise, silhouette, I think he is really cool. Like, I like the night motif, and these spikes look really awesome. In the back, he's not bad, but you know, I really like just that silhouette is so cool. I'm sorry, I'm like a kid here, but And I'm not usually crazy about like when the tail becomes an arm, something like this, because usually that's I'd rather just have an arm and then this is separate. And I'm still like that here. I like that it makes a lance because it fits with the whole knight thing, but I still find myself wishing he had an arm. But you know, as limbs that are just animal parts and not actual, don't become actual hands, the lance I think is really good. I think it's probably one of the best ones I've seen. I almost kind of want, you know, like a hand that you could attach here, so it's just like a, you know, and then he just flips it around and then it's a lance. And you can, stab people, pick them up, slam them. But also hidden here is his sword, which he can hold in that hand or someone else can do. Pretty cool looking little like savage saw blade sword, you know, like maybe not necessarily a sword, but a long dagger, or a short sword. There we go. Let's go with short sword. But I think it's kind of cool. The only weird thing is I think he actually kind of looks kind of weird holding it, because maybe it's because it makes the dino head more pronounced. I don't know. But as much as I like handheld weaponry with my plastic robots, I'm not overly like, I like the sword. I think it looks cool, but it looks kind of weird in his hands. And even though he's not like ninja-like, I actually kind of like it better backhand. I think it looks kind of cooler like that. Like it's a kind of like a parrying sword or something. So like the lance is the big damage, and then this little blade, he like parries with it or blocks, or you know, it's like he'll kind of stab with this, and then that's the quick strike of like he'll go in there and cut them if they block this or whatever. Again, sorry, I'm acting like I'm 6. But it's a cool sword, and it stores up in here if you never want to use it. You don't have to. Stores away really well. See, it still fits with the spiny aspect, so you could almost not know it's there. Not as well hidden as Soundwave's batteries. I may eventually get around to that story. But, you know, pretty nice. And overall, I do like the figure. I'm a little disappointed with him. I'm not big on beast formers anyway, just because there's always so much kibble. And this guy's actually pretty good. You know, you got these little things which work, even though it looks like they're teeth. I don't know why he'd have teeth on his hips when it's obvious that's... Anyway. But, you know, you have this little bit, which is fine. It incorporates pretty well, but he doesn't get a waist swivel. He gets, like, this one up here for transformation, but it's only this direction. So if someone approaches from, you know, his left, he's like, oh, he's got to turn all the way around. But if they come from the right, he's like, huh? But, overall, like I said, a little disappointed just because he, you know, still is a somewhat standard transformation of like tail and head become the arms, and you just twist them and pam, he's there. But I think he works really well with that. I think he's a great design, and I think he pulls it off really well. It's just I thought I would like him a little more than I did. I'm not like super disappointed with him. It's like just a tiny bit. You know, he's not as cool as I thought. However, displaying him, I think he looks awesome. I like completely gush over him. So as a display piece, awesome. As a play piece, I'd say better than average. Not as well as I thought, and like we'll go over his articulation too. But I don't think he's quite as cool play piece as he is just leaving up and letting him look awesome. But he does have shoulder joints, and he has a head on a ball joint. Doesn't have the best range of movement, although I believe this was actually Vangelis. But you know, he recommended taking off the head, and you just cut a little bit off of these back things here. They're kind of hard to see, and it kind of gives you a better range of motion. There's the word. So you know, you can get, like, it doesn't really inhibit it staying on in any way, although it's kind of a pain in the butt to get back on. But it really opens that up, and that's better. Although he can look kind of condescending. It's a cool head though. But he has then a swivel shoulder, hinged shoulder plus the twist there. Bicep swivel, elbow joint. That was decent range of movement. I mean, you can get some good lance stuff with this. You know, he's rearing it back, or like if he was on a horse, you know. He should have a dinosaur to ride. That'd be awesome. Dinosaur robot riding a dinosaur. Anyway, Also, you know, same on the other arm. This one has a better, I would say, elbow joint. I said it's a little hand that comes out. It doesn't come out all the way, so it's still kind of oddly shaped. Like I said, no real waist swivel. It's got some nice ball jointed shoulders though, big ball socket there. For decent range of mobility, if you put that away, you can, or if you don't put it where it's not supposed to go, it's a little bit better. I kind of like him standing more upright just because I feel that's very knightly. But does have a thigh swivel. He's got a knee joint, kind of a double jointed if you don't mind it looking weird. And no real foot articulation as the toes come out, so you can be like, so you know, you can do stuff with it, but not really much. Fairly posable though. I think his upper range is, I mean, the lower range I think is better, but the upper range you get more out of. So I probably shouldn't fiddle with him so much. But other than that, looks awesome. Would I recommend getting him? If you're just going to display him, I would definitely recommend getting him. I'm not really big on the Dinobots in general, so I wasn't going to get all of them anyway. I only have 2 of them, and I'm okay with just those 2, just sitting up on the shelf looking awesome. If you'd like to, you know, do some displays with them, I think you could. You could get some decent range out of them. So I think he would be good if you wanted to, you know, like reenact scenes from the movie or make your own diorama, especially with the non-screen people. If you're just kind of getting him to play with, I think there are better ones out there, but I think he is good. I just don't know if I'd recommend if you're getting him solely for that. If you're not sold on the look of him, I wouldn't recommend him, because that's really, to me, the main appeal. If you think he looks cool, you know, you'll play with him a little bit. But if you don't think he looks cool, then I wouldn't recommend getting him, because I think he looks better than he plays. As a toy for a kid, probably not the best. He does, you know, he's not the easiest to transform. He's not super stable in dinosaur mode, and he does kind of have pointy bits, mostly because I don't like my kids touching my stuff. I wouldn't let my kids play with him, but that's because I think he's really cool, and I don't want him to get broken or lost or scraped up or anything. But there he is, Age of Extinction, Scorn. And I'm silly. I totally forgot to do it during the video, so I apologize for the kind of dramatic cut there. But I wanted to do a size comparison. I just silly, and I forgot to do it in the Vehicon too. But since I had Wheeljack in that scene, I felt like, okay, I can let that one go. Won't necessarily need to film it separately. And I was like, I'll remember to do it next time, and then I forgot to do it next time, and I feel like an idiot. So I'm just gonna tack this on to the end. But here he is with Prime Wheeljack, just because I have him laying around. You can see they're actually really close to the same size. Wheeljack looks a little beefier just because of his the arms, you know, or he has like bigger arms. But overall, you know, they're pretty similar. And also because I had him lying around, we'll compare him with another movie figure. Compare him with Movie 2 Sideswipe. And you can see he's taller. Also has more kibble. And that's a better figure. That's the difference. But, you know, they're... You know, it's... You know, he's obviously shorter. You know, the figures are getting smaller. Can't really deny that. So, anyway, that was the size comparison. Thank you very much for watching.